All right, guys, watch this for Thursday, March 10th. If you were frustrated today at all, I mean, because we had a big day in the room yesterday. Today, I didn't trade that much. I didn't trade that much at all. I just couldn't find anything. But if you were frustrated and you think, man, what am I doing differently? Why am I struggling today? Well, look at today's SPY candle. It is a quiet day inside of yesterday's range. I mean, I don't see one of these going back. Honestly, I don't see a complete inside day for a long time, maybe right here, unless I'm missing one by glancing. But generally, you've got every day, in the past 2 to 3 weeks at least, taking out the previous day's range one way or the other. So it was definitely a low volume, definitely just a quiet day. So the unique thing about trading is every day is different. We had a long talk in the chat room today about daily goals, what your daily goals should be, and so on. One thing I try to preach is that if I'm just up a couple hundred or down a couple hundred, I mean, to me that's basically a flat day. But I'm okay with that. I don't feel like after the first hour, when I should make most of my money, the first hour, the first 90 minutes gone, okay, and I haven't, I'm maybe just up a little or down a little. It might be just a symptom of a day like today where there's just really not much going on. But one thing that's really helped me over the years is not feeling that jittery. Oh, I've got to make some money. Like, oh, if I'm going to make this much per year, I've got to average this much per day. That doesn't matter. I had a huge day yesterday. All right, so I don't care if I. That's the thing about trading. As long as you protect the downside, you can go 3, 4, 5 days whittling away and doing next to nothing, and then all of a sudden one of your favorite setups occurs and you have a big day. So don't worry about a daily goal. The only reason I have a daily goal is if I hit it, I stop trading because I hate giving back my money from the morning in the afternoon because the morning is when the money is much, much easier to make, okay? But a daily goal isn't something that I feel like I have to hit every day. It is just my little barometer. If I hit it, stop trading because you don't want to give it back, all right? That's the only reason I have a daily goal. So, all right, I've babbled long enough. We got an inside day here. Let's get into the list. A lot of bounce plays. And VHC is one of them. You had a really nice 2.5 day run. Now you're kind of whittling lower here, 4 days in a row, declining volume. Basically, this isn't quite the 50-day. This is actually 60 period moving average that I use for my 5-minute chart, but it's pretty close to the 50-day too, which you might have a double bottom, maybe a little bit of a higher low forming, and this one might be ready to turn back up. One thing I look for when I've had a strong move and then a few days lower, I go to 15-minute candles. Okay, so this is the top of the move, all right? And you see these vertical lines here. These are the beginning of the next session. So this was the big move, 1, 2, big 3-day move. Now you notice the first day down, the opening 15-minute candle that day put in its high in the opening 15 minutes, right? Yesterday put in its high in the opening 30 minutes, the second 15-minute candle in. Today put in its high in the opening 15 minutes and kind of tested it again here, but then just bled lower. What I like to see for a bounce play, it's not the only way I'll play them, but what I like to see is, a stock like this, big move, grinding lower now. I'd like to see a sideways move and a breakout to the upside, break its early high in the afternoon. Okay, so like if this would have trailed along and then with about an hour left, broken this high right here, you might have had a really nice move. So keep that in mind. It's not the only way I'll play a bounce play, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. You can see. Let's go back to 15s. You can see after this big move, if it doesn't break its early high, or let me rephrase it. If it moves at the open, generally they tend to fade all day with this pattern. Okay, and then it's just getting into almost nothingness, right, where it's not doing anything. So this one might reemerge tomorrow or Friday, and all of a sudden volume comes back in. So I'm not in love with this by any stretch, but it's worth having on a chart. Some of these next few I really do like, okay? ORIG, these little baby oils had made a nice move. This one went from literally 79 cents to $1.67. So that's basically a double in a couple sessions, and now a couple days lower. It did have big volume today, though, but if these baby oils are going to turn back up, they need to do it probably tomorrow. So I do like this one because, again, it's got potential to give me a nice percentage move. Pier 1, PIR, had the gap up on earnings and went from before earnings, it closed at 548. So really in a session and a half, it went to 755. That's a big percentage move. Now a couple days lower. Pretty narrow range today on much lower volume. Another good setup for this to maybe turn back up tomorrow. I'd like to see an afternoon high of day break, but again, it's not the only way I'll play it out. I'd also like to see a gap down and then a break if it's narrow range after the open to the upside. So there's a few ways we play these, but this is a pretty good setup, this PIR. So is EGLE. In other words, another huge move, 72 cents to 350. That's a monster move, right? And now 2 days lower on smaller volume. This is a great setup. So I really want to watch this EGLE. Remember, I love stocks that make these huge percentage moves and then come in a couple days. They're great. They have great potential. And along those lines, LEU, just a quiet inside day today. I think it needs to come in another day or two, but this one could give us another really big trade. But whenever I have a move like this, even though it's only had one red day so far, I've got to have it on watch because it might meet some of our other intraday parameters. EPE, another just crazy move, right? And 3 sessions ago, it actually went from a low of 387 to 744. I mean, that's crazy. So now you got 2 days lower on declining volume. Hate to be redundant, but you see the setup, right? Pretty much the same thing. These are all good candidates. SDRL, again, went crazy, 306 to 749 a few sessions ago, and now we're 3 days lower. If you go to 5-minute candles, you'll notice it put, well, let's go to 15s like I did before to be consistent. Yesterday, never broke its 15-minute high. Today, never broke its 15-minute high. It's a good candidate for a possible afternoon break or one of our other setups. But, anytime you get a huge move and then a few days back, a lot of times you get a nice secondary move. Doesn't cost you anything to have these on charts. Same deal here, LINE, big move, a couple lower highs on the daily on Bounce Watch. SALT, same deal. This thing actually went a few sessions ago. It went from a low of 393 to 582, and now lower high, lower high, lower high. Nice narrow range today. This one's pretty interesting. Right back to the 8-day. Today's high was $4. If this gets back through 4, that might be enough. But again, I'm all about intraday setups coupled with the daily charts that I like. So I'll be watching all these. ASTC. Certainly wouldn't think it was going to rip again tomorrow. It gave back about half of its morning gains. Big volume. But already got to throw that one on a chart for the next several days. And then RDUS, nice volume today. This high back here on really big volume. This high was $37 even. It pushed through that this afternoon, went to $37.79 before coming back a bit down to $37.07. Don't want to chase this one, right? It's made a big move, a big afternoon move, but maybe we get a red to green or something like that. Guys, that's plenty to watch. We're going to also stock some gappers in the morning, so that's more than enough. So I'm going to leave it at that. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.